So this morning, Australia woke up to some devastating news of horrific proportions. One of The Age reported that a man had killed his Indonesian girlfriend and then cooked her remains in chemicals on a stovetop. So until he then killed himself and ended his life after he was found out of this terrible crime. So this in itself is appalling and outrageous to say the least. The Age did mention that Mayang Prasetyo, which I'm sorry about the pronunciation, was transgendered, however focused on using correct nouns and preserved what little dignity they could of such a terrible act. Now, the title of the article at The Age was actually Friends Pay Tribute to an Amazing Soul Killed in a Teneriffe Murder-Suicide, which I thought was definitely something that was a little bit more sensitive. Now, this highlights such a terrible fact that transgender people are often the victims of a lot of domestic violence, plus also they are usually general violence, like from the public. So this is a terrible fact that has kind of been highlighted by this situation. So this is outrageous. It's heartbreaking, and it's completely just, in my mind, absolutely incomprehensible that someone could do this to another person, kill them, that are in a position of trust. Now, Australian media can be quite sensationalist. We've seen this in our current political state of Muslim terrorism, which I think is absolutely just unfounded, and it's causing a lot of people to be either angry or aggressive, and giving them a license to hate other people. So now, I didn't think that it could get any worse. However, the Courier Mail headlined today's paper with Monster Chef and the She-Male, and inside of the newspaper, it's titled Lady Boy and the Butcher. Now, the Courier Mail isn't a general gossip mag. It's not like the Inquirer or anything like that. It's meant to be a reputable, I use the term lightly, newspaper that comes out daily. So it's part of part of the states of Queensland and also the Northern Territory, part of their everyday newspaper. So now this is absolutely ridiculous. The big deal in regards to this is everything about that article is disgusting. The death of a woman who is in a relationship with a man who was betrayed and ultimately killed in a relationship that was filled with trust, that to me is something that's absolutely just devastating. I can't imagine to have someone who you love and trusted, even though if the relationship was bad, it doesn't give a man, or it doesn't give anyone in that state of trust, the right to absolutely destroy someone else's dignity. Now, it gets worse. The newspaper then sensationalized the fact that she was a sex worker, which, The Age has labeled her as a cabaret performer. So I really don't know, and I really don't care, because the fact that she was either a sex worker or a cabaret performer does not discredit the fact that she was a human being. This is the type of thing that gets me really pissed off and makes me feel really, really upset. They did, however, note that she was sending money back to Indonesia to her family, which just shows that she's working hard at getting a better life. So now, when we start to stigmatize certain professions, certain genders or sexualities or anything like that, and make caricatures of the victims because of who they are, makes us feel uncomfortable and confronted, because we're kind of characterizing that in order to make ourselves feel better that, it couldn't happen to us. That's when we lose sight of the fact that we are essentially human. It makes us lose sight of the fact that this could happen to anyone that we know and love. Now, we may not know anyone who's transgendered. I know a lot of transgender people, so this is why this might have given me some kind of anger towards it. But when we do this to people who are real life people, we end up losing a side of our humanity. So look, these are people who have friends, family, they have a whole network of other people who care for them. And when this happens, I always wonder, what was the victim's favorite color? What was their favorite song? What was their go-to movie when they were upset? What was their favorite ice cream in summer? You don't just lose a thing when this happens. You lose a person, their identity, their story. You lose their history. You don't get to ask them questions anymore. You don't get to find out all about them, and this is what makes it upsetting. The thing that also makes it upsetting for me is the fact that the Courier Mail didn't think that this was good enough. They didn't think that this person was worthy of respect, or worthy of a respectable reporting of their death, or a respectable reporting of who they are, and failed to see the humanity on it. Maybe that's because they decided that their readers would prefer to see a circus show rather than a horrific state of affairs. If this happened to anyone who I cared about, I would be outraged. I'm actually a little bit upset at the moment. So I just want to sum up by saying, look, when we allow our news outlets to demonize Muslims, dismiss asylum seekers as illegal, dehumanize minorities, and make light of true tragedies in order for us to easily consume the tragedy that's just happened, then we know that there's a problem with our society. And this is happening where inequality is being put into the law, and it just makes me really sick that we're starting to lose touch of the humanity of situations, or at least kind of saying, well, this is okay for our media outlets to do this. And I, for one, am so sick of it. I'm sick of being told how I should feel about people, because feeling is a sign of weakness. I'm sick of being told that people are out to get me, where in fact we've gotten a lot more people out of racist attacks than we have of people who are seemingly coming to get us. So I am angry, I am annoyed, and this video might seem a little bit disjointed, but I just wanted to get this video out there. I don't really do videos anymore, but hopefully you guys can provide some feedback in the comments below, and share your light on it, because like it really pisses me off.